One of the world's biggest streamers and entertainers is back at it again, and this time he has a lot to say. Dr. Disrespect had almost conquered the world of video game streaming with millions of followers, but there were always a lot of grievances in his heart. Now that he's not on the list, he's throwing shade at the most watched Twitch channels of 2022. Stay tuned as we walk all about it and more, starting with Dr. Disrespect's shade. YouTuber Dr. Disrespect has lived up to his name by criticizing, or shall we say disrespecting, the best Twitch broadcasters of 2022. The man doesn't like it when he's not in the spotlight, so he's doing his best to sneak his way back into it. So just recently, the angry streamer really felt like telling the world how he felt about the most watched channels of 2022. The guy is pretty well known in many gaming communities because he has been broadcasting his gameplay on Twitch for years now. Dr. Disrespect gained online notoriety for his high-octane broadcasts and a sizable following on Twitch, the most popular platform for live streaming video games. It's not like he's had a smooth ride so far. No, sir. In fact, he's far from it. Many of Dr. Disrespect's agreements were terminated after he was permanently banned from the site in 2020. There was even a lawsuit filed over the dispute, but it was dismissed. Then, after all the chaos from being banned from Twitch, he quickly became one of the site's most watched streams on YouTube. So you see how he has a really rocky relationship with Twitch. And so, since he can't be on the list of the most watched, he's gonna make fun of them. He posted a sarcastic tweet that said "cute stats" in response to a graphic showing Twitch audience figures and the platform's top streamers. Dr. Disrespect's YouTube channel has flourished since he decided to move his content there, so we really don't see why he's being so negative about all of this. Live and let live, dude. Not to mention, it's not like he's sitting idle. Dr. Disrespect's brand has expanded even further without the assistance of Twitch, despite his troubled history with the streaming platform. Like, he's actually prospering and growing better than he did on Twitch. He created his own company, Midnight Society, which is one of his most recent and fascinating achievements. Plus, he's got some great ambitions. Dr. Disrespect plans to take his firm, Disrespect Studios, to the top of the video game industry by releasing the first game from the studio, Dead Drop, which has been developed with the support of creators from titles like Halo and Elder Scrolls. But even as he gains popularity, Dr. Disrespect never misses an opportunity to live up to his name and throw some shade. Up next, this is not the first time he's thrown a tantrum after not being part of something. Dr. Disrespect wasn't included in the Streamer Awards hosted by QT Cinderella and Maya Higa back in March, so he mocked the event via a YouTube live stream a few days after it took place. Many thousands of viewers tuned in to watch who won and who was nominated in the many categories at the first annual Streamer Awards, which were a tremendous hit with both the streaming community's elite and its devoted admirers. However, the awards event wasn't entirely without controversy. Many were perplexed by XQC's absence from the Streamer of the Year discussion, and Saikuno and Valkyrie voiced their displeasure at being left out of certain prize categories or compilation videos. Dr. Disrespect, who was probably banned from the awards presentation due to his disrespectful behavior, still found a way to poke fun at them while streaming. Doc's next game, dubbed Project Moon, and including NFTs, was a major topic of discussion throughout the broadcast, but he made sure the topic didn't take over the whole event. Instead, he was concerned that his views on the Streamer Awards should be out there, despite the fact that he didn't want to do it. Moving on, here's what he said. After explaining that this channel isn't interested in short-term partnerships, like the ones that would be forgotten the following day, he went on to say, "We're not interested in creating our own Streamer Awards so we can hand it to our best friends." Wrong. Of course, some content makers were irritated by the Streamer Awards, and for different reasons, but it seems like Dr. Disrespect found it especially annoying that he was snubbed. So with all that shade, and not to mention the fact that he was previously not invited, we can say one thing for sure: he won't be hosting it this year. Now, let's look at Dr. Disrespect's most controversial streaming moments. The man has had his fair share of scandals in the past, which is why it never comes as a surprise to us when he's out there saying more controversial things. Today, in honor of his latest outburst, we'll be taking a walk down memory lane as we look at some of the most controversial streaming moments of his entire career. First off, the racism. In 2018, when this debate surfaced, PUBG was far from being considered dead. The game was actually enjoying its most successful period to date. So here's what happened. Basically, it was a rumor in the industry that dishonest players with Chinese names lowered the bar for everyone. Doc, being Doc, went off on a heated rant in which he made fun of the Chinese and their accent. The American actor Jimmy Wong accused him of racism while also suggesting that the gaming community as a whole was guilty of the same thing. Wow, we don't deny that that Doc was wrong, but generalizing the whole community was a bit harsh, don't you think? Now, what added fuel to the fire was the fact that Doc ignored Wong's criticisms and continued to broadcast regardless of the backlash. Considering the fallout, Wong has now removed the offending tweet from his account. Following Jimmy Wong's harsh commentary, Dr. Disrespect found himself under intense scrutiny. There were claims that the streamer was involved in a number of discriminatory gestures and portrayals of Chinese culture. The streamer denied the accusations and used his channel to talk about his numerous Asian friends, suggesting he doesn't have anything against Asian people. In his words, he said he grew up in a welcoming public school environment, socializing with peers of many racial and cultural backgrounds, and counting among his closest friends both Asians and Mexicans were just a few examples. Now, how is that a justification? Next, the time he admitted cheating on his wife. Dr. Disrespect, aka Herschel Beam IV, came clean about cheating on his wife during a live Twitch show. Doc's mustache and his tears were genuine as he broke down in front of his admirers and revealed what he had done to his wife and daughter. Doc's sex life with ladies is shrouded in mystery. One of the most repeated accusations is that Doc treated 4 women disrespectfully, although this has never been proven. Chini Ray, or Cray, as the fans call her, another popular streamer, DJ, and model, is reportedly one of them. There's also a video on YouTube that shows Doc and Cray flirting. However, this is unverified and may be exaggerating the seriousness of the situation. The Doc told his audience that he was going to attempt to mend fences with his former fans and devote some of his time away from Twitch to his family. Doc later answered a question on the state of his marriage by comparing it to a roller coaster ride. He described it, it's a learning process, it's a rebuilding process, it's a strengthening process. As we mature, as we sort of increase our knowledge, we're starting to understand some things. We're starting that rebuilding process. Over a week after his return, Doc posted a video on YouTube in which he can be seen dancing with and kissing his wife's hand. Following up, the time he streamed from his bathroom. The man has literally done it all. He's even filmed himself and other people using public toilets. Like, geez, where does it end for him? So here's what happened. Some time ago, the infamous streamer was banned from the service when he broadcasted from a lavatory at the Los Angeles Convention Center while covering E3. His access to E3 was canceled as well. During the first day of the E3 event, he and his camera guy entered a public restroom with the camera still running, which is likely against Twitch's community rules and terms of service, even if restrooms are not directly stated. Filming individuals in a public restroom is undoubtedly a violation of California's invasion of privacy statute, which is why Twitch prohibits users from broadcasting criminal conduct. While hundreds of viewers watched Dr. Disrespect enter the men's room and yelled "bodyguard," while some guests, including someone who seemed to be a youngster, used the urinals. Soon after, he entered a restroom cubicle. He is shown using a urinal twice more in subsequent videos, both of which were recorded after he had already left the toilet. Twitter users have captured images of Dr. Disrespect peeing in front of a camera as a large crowd of concertgoers uses the urinals around him. Like, bro, even if it wasn't mentioned in the rulebook or something, this should have been common knowledge that you cannot possibly go into the public toilets and stream it to the rest of the world. Ever heard about the concept of privacy? Wow, people were just as stunned as we are right now. Finally, the comments about COVID-19. It was during the time of COVID that we found out who the most controversial and problematic personalities were. For instance, there were certain singers out there wearing net masks as a COVID precaution, while there were many others like Dr. Disrespect who chose to spread propaganda during that difficult time. Though the spread of COVID-19 seemed to have slowed down dramatically, the guy made some concerning remarks about the pandemic. In this context, he argued for allowing people back into public spaces and ending the lockdown imposed due to the epidemic. The same may be said about his response to Elon Musk's declaration. He said, "Let's not just be robots and say, 'Yes, sir, we will do everything you tell us to do, government, sir.' Let's listen to the experts." Again, I gotta bite my tongue. And to add to that, he even shared a video of Dr. Thomas Cowan, in which he falsely claimed that 5G towers were to blame for the virus's rapid spreading. Wow, that's a wrap for this video. So what do you think about all this shade? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.